Hello students and the warm welcome in this 15th lecture of the thermodynamics chapter. In the last lecture we have seen about the heat engine, its entire process, its diagram and the PV diagram for the heat engine, how it varies from state to state. Now we will see the next part of this chapter. So the diagram popping on your screen is of the refrigeration and heat pump. But before that, we have seen the heat engine cycle PV diagram. You can see for your better understanding again. But now we will proceeding the part. If you have any doubt regarding the heat engine cycle, then you can check my previous video, so you will get it understand. Now we will see the next part, that is refrigeration and heat pump. So first of all, we will understand the diagram. So there are two regions of the refrigeration they have given, means the refrigeration heat pump. Now the first region is hot region, which is indicated by the red section, and the second one is indicated with the cold region, which is also termed as a refrigerant. Now the first section they have given the work done is equal to compression and the force the condensation, and the heat will be rejected from the hot region, and the expansion and the force the vaporization, means heat will be absorbed here, means there will be the vaporization, so heat will be absorbed there. So refrigeration and heat pump forces heat to flow from lower temperature point to the higher temperature point. Students, I will tell you one thing, there is nature of the heat that heat will always flow from the point at a higher temperature toward the point at a lower temperature. But what in case if you want to transfer the heat from the point at a lower temperature to the point at a higher temperature, then in this condition you have to do some work. So you have to use the devices like a pump or the prime mover. Okay, these kind of devices you have to use if you want to transfer the heat from the point at a lower temperature toward the point at a higher temperature. So we are using the heat pump here. Now extract the heat from the cold region due to the force the evaporation, means evaporation means what? There will be change of phase or the change of state of the water from the you can say that the liquid into the vaporization, means liquid will be get converted into the moisture into the atmosphere, and further this heat is rejected by the compressing, and this heat is get rejected by the compressing and the condensing it into the liquid at a high temperature, means again it has been condensed into the liquid at the high temperature. So students, a refrigeration heat pump forces heat flow from the lower temperature point to higher temperature point. Extract heat from the cold region due to the forced evaporation. This heat is rejected by the compressing and the condensation it into the liquid at a high temperature. So this is the lay diagram that we have understood by the refrigeration and the heat pump. Now we will see the exact working, how does it work by the correct diagram. Now we will see the process of refrigeration or the refrigerator. So as far as the refrigerator device is concerned, the refrigerator is the refrigeration is the process of cooling a space or at a particular room and maintaining at a desired temperature in order to feel the desirable feel to the person who is sitting inside the room is nothing but the refrigerator. So students, you can see the diagram of the refrigeration. In the first section they have given the evaporator coil, and the inside refrigerator is there, and evaporator coil is coiled, as at the other side you can see the refrigerant and the condenser is there at the either side. Evaporator and the condenser are at either side, you can see, while the condenser is indicated with the red color and the evaporator is indicated with the pale blue color. Now in between them they have connected with the expansion valve, and exactly front of that there is the compressor, and you can see the indication of the pressure. At the evaporator side there is a low pressure, and at the condenser side there is a high pressure, and the pipe inside the substance inside that condenser pipe is refrigerant. Now we will see, after the observation of this diagram, we will see the exact working of the refrigerator. So students, at first the fluid passes through the nozzle and expands at a pressure area, at low pressure area. Means first of all fluid will be passes through the nozzle and it will get expand. So as there will be expansion, so the expansion of refrigerant fluid will be there. Thus expansion of refrigerant fluid then expands makes rise in evaporator coil. Means there will be this expansion will cause the rise in evaporator coil. Due to the evaporation, it takes heat from the object. Means evaporation means, what is the process of evaporation? The liquid will be get converted into the vapor. So this transfer does work in this process. The gas is compressed adiabatically. Now what mean by the adiabatically? So there will be the no gain or loss of heat there. Get heated and converted into the liquid. Now the fourth step, this liquid passes through the condenser coil which is at outside the fusible or the refrigerator. So this is the process student. I will explain one more time. So students, as you can see, the compressor will compress the refrigerant toward the hot region. Then this hot region will takes the heat from the room or from the space from where we have to collect the heat, and that heat will further passes through the condenser coil, as you can see. And this condenser coil will, there will be the condensation of that refrigerant, of that liquid that we have taken, and that condensation will further move toward the expansion wall. And as this liquid will get expanded into the expansion wall, thus there will be the conversion of liquid into the vaporization. Means there will be the evaporation. So there will be the less pressure will be decreased. Thus there will be the coldness will be generated, and this will further passes into the evaporator coil which is situated at the inside the room. Means you can say you will feel, because of this evaporator coil you will be feeling comfort level because of the evaporator coil. And this further will passes through the low pressure area again into the compressor, and this compressor will again compress the liquid into the condenser coil, and again there will be the change of phase from the liquid, from the gases to liquid, and further again that liquid will be get converted into the cold gases due to the low pressure and due to the expansion of gases. So this process will be continuous, and thus the refrigerator can feel the comfort level of the temperature as you want, and you can adjust it at your desired level. So the next part we will see is performance of the refrigerator. So the QC is the heat absorbed by the working substance, while the QH is the heat rejected by the working substance. So the refrigerator absorbs heat at low temperature and reject heat at the high temperature. Now the QC will be greater than 0, QH will be less than 0, and the work done will be less than 0. So QH plus QC is equal to work done. Now minus QH is equal to QC minus W. So the modulus of QH is equal to modulus of QC plus modulus of W. So as the QH is greater than the QC, means the heat rejected is greater than the heat absorbed, means heat absorbed is less here. Thus the ratio will be modulus of QC upon modulus of W, indicates the performance of refrigerator as it is at the coefficient of performance, quality factor Q. Now the K will be modulus of QC upon modulus of W, which can be further written as QC modulus of QC upon modulus of QC minus modulus of QH. So for typical household, the factor K, means the performance factor or the quality factor, will be the phi. Now students, we will see the next part of this chapter, that is air conditioning or the air conditioner. Now students, we will see the working of air conditioner. So as far as the working of the air conditioning is concerned, it is same as the refrigerator. There will be the condenser coil, evaporator coil, there will be the expansion nozzle, and the compressor will be there. Thus it will be dependent on the two types of the working, as the evaporation will release the heat, and as the condensation, it will absorb the heat. it differs only in the refrigerator will cools down the temperature of the object which are inside the refrigerator, and the air conditioner will cools down the temperature of the space or the room which we have to just maintain at the desired temperature. Now evaporator coil inside the room means the evaporator coils are inside the room, so there will be, as the evaporation will be there, it will extract the heat. So the evaporation will extract the heat, and as this heat from all the objects inside the room will get extracted, and this will further take toward the compressor again, means at the outside and the condenser coil which is outside the room, it will just release the heat outside the room. So this process will be continuous. The evaporation will extract the heat of the each and every object which is inside the room, and the condensation coil which is outside the room, it will release the heat outside the room, and it will maintain the space or the room at the desired and required temperature, as we can control it with the remote. So now students, we will see the performance of AC now, which is K is equal to modulus of QC upon modulus of W, while the QC is nothing but heat absorbed by the working substance is nothing but the QC, while the QH is heat rejected by the substance. So out of that, the K will be modulus of QC upon modulus of W. So it is important to consider the heat removed H and the power P essential to remove heat. Therefore, the rate of heat removed will be H is equal to modulus of QC, that is temperature, that is the heat absorbed by the working substance upon the work done, which will be H plus upon P plus. So the H by P will be the final ratio. Now the typical value of K for this air conditioning will be 2.5 to 3. Now students, we will see the heat pump. So as we know the why we are using the heat pump, there should be the objective of the using heat pump should be in your mind. So as the heat is transferred from the higher temperature point to low temperature point, but we cannot transfer the heat from the low temperature point to high temperature point unless we are using some external power. So that external power we are using as a heat pump. So the heat pump will tends to take the low temperature toward the high temperature. For this purpose we are using the heat pump, or to do some work. Now the evaporator, so we will discuss the working in short. So the evaporator coil which are situated outside the room will extract the heat, outside heat, means as we know that the evaporation will extract the heat while the condensation will loses the heat. So the condenser coils are situated inside the room as exactly opposite than that of the air conditioning. That's why now they release the absorbed heat into the air inside. So the objects of the room will become warmer due to the condenser. So this is warming up the building, and this is nothing but the heat pump we are using to take the temperature from the point at a low temperature toward the high temperature. Now students, we will see the second law of thermodynamics. We will see the statement. The statement is, it is impossible to extract an amount of heat QH from a hot reservoir and use it all to do work. Some amount of heat QC must be exhausted to cold reservoir. This prohibits possibility of perfect heat engine. So this is the statement for the second law of thermodynamics. Now students, we will understand by the diagram. So students, we can see in the diagram the one part of the one reservoir which is hot reservoir at the 800 degree Kelvin, and the another one reservoir is at the 400 degree Kelvin. So students, this will work as if object is at 800 Kelvin temperature and 400 Kelvin temperature at other reservoir. Thus, if it is receive heat of 800 Kelvin and the rejects 400 Kelvin, then maximum efficiency is 50%, as the amount of heat absorbed from the hot reservoir is exactly double than that of the cold, means the amount of heat which is at the cold reservoir is exactly half than that of the heat received from the hot reservoir. So we can say that the efficiency is 50%. Now we will see the Kelvin Planck statement. All heat engines lose some heat to environment of a perfect heat engine. All the heat QH extracted cannot be used to do work. Means all the heat which we are just taking as an input cannot be converted into the all of it into the work. Some heat has to be lost to the environment. So this is nothing but the Kelvin-Planck statement, and it is also the first form of the second law of thermodynamics. So this is also one of the form of the first form of the second law of thermodynamics. Now student, rest of the part of this chapter we will see in the next video, but before that I am requesting you to revise some parts so you will get it very easily. Thank you so much.